Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins. The top 4 Washington silver $quarter coins, value in today's market. So let's get started. First up, the value of a 1980 Washington silver quarter with a D mint mark, even when it's in bad condition. Stay tuned to find out just how much it's worth in today's market. The 1980 Washington quarter is part of the iconic U.S. coin series first minted in 1932. Featuring George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, this coin was produced in both Philadelphia and Denver mints. But today, we're specifically looking at the 1980 quarter with the D mint mark, meaning it was minted in Denver now. Let's talk about the silver content. The 1980 quarter, while part of the Washington series, is not a silver coin like earlier quarters from the 1960s. Starting in 1965, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. This means that a 1980 quarter has no silver content at all. It's made of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. So, if you're hoping for a rare silver value boost like older quarters, unfortunately, this one won't give you that. But keep watching, the condition of the coin can still affect its value. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins in bad condition, meaning they're heavily worn, scratched, or even damaged, are typically worth less than those in better condition. However, in the world of coin values, even bad coins can surprise you. So, what's the value of a 1980 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in bad condition today? Well, based on current market trends, even a coin in poor shape could be worth around $3 to $5. Why? Because even in bad condition, these quarters still carry value based on their rarity and demand in the market. Even heavily worn coins are often bought by collectors looking to complete sets, or by those interested in the historical significance of the coin. Plus, there's always a bit of extra value for coins with mint marks, like this one with the D. So even though the 1980 Washington quarter with the D mint mark isn't made of silver and may be in bad shape, it still holds some value. If you find one of these coins in your collection or change jar, it's still worth taking a closer look. It might be worth more than you think. Next up, the 1984 Washington silver $quarter with the P mint mark in its normal damage condition state. If you have one of these in your collection or just found one in your pocket change, stick around to learn how much it's worth today. Let's get into the details of this coin. The 1984 Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, and it features the classic design of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. Now, you may be wondering, how much is a 1984 Washington silver quarter worth in today's market? Well, in normal condition with damage, we're looking at an estimated value of around $3 to $4. Keep in mind that a damaged coin means it has visible wear and tear, scratches, scuffs, or perhaps some discoloration from circulation. But don't let that fool you. Even in this condition, this silver quarter still has value because it contains 90% silver, which makes it a desirable item for collectors. Of course, the value of any coin can fluctuate depending on its condition and the market. A well-worn quarter like this one will be valued at the lower end of the spectrum, while one in mint or near-mint condition could fetch more, sometimes up to $7 to $10 or even higher, depending on demand. Even though the 1984 Washington quarter isn't considered rare, its silver content plays a role in its value. With silver prices constantly changing, the intrinsic metal value of the coin can sometimes be worth more than the coin's face value. So, to wrap things up, a 1984 Washington silver quarter in normal damage condition is generally worth between $3 to $4 in today's market. Keep an eye on the silver market, as it can shift, and you might find that these coins are worth a bit more in the future. Next up, the 1966 Washington Silver Quarter. Now, before you think this is just a regular quarter, stick with me. We're diving into the value of the 1966 Washington Quarter without a mint mark in damage condition. Yes, you heard that right, damage condition. Let's explore just how much this coin is worth today. The Washington Quarter was first minted in 1932, and by 1966, it had already become a staple in U.S. coinage. Now, the 1966 Washington Quarter, just like other quarters from the mid-20th century, was made from 90% silver and 10% copper. However, it was only minted for circulation in 1966, without any special commemorative significance, and that's where it gets interesting. The key point here is that this particular coin, the 1966 quarter, doesn't have a mint mark. Why does that matter? Well, the mint mark, or lack of it, tells us which U.S. mint produced the coin. A mint mark is typically found on the obverse front side of the coin, but with this particular coin, the absence of it means it was produced in Philadelphia. And this can actually impact its rarity and value, especially when it comes to coins in damaged condition. Now, you may be wondering, how does damage affect the value of a coin? Well, damage can significantly decrease the coin's value. A coin in damage condition could be anything from scratches, dings, or even being bent. While a well-preserved 1966 Washington Quarter might fetch a decent price, one in poor condition is often worth much less. As you can see here, this coin has some visible wear and tear. The value of a 1966 Washington Quarter with no mint mark in this kind of damage condition can be a lot lower than you might expect, considering its silver content. Okay, let's talk about how much it's worth today. The value of a 1966 Washington Silver Quarter without a mint mark, even in damage condition, is largely influenced by its silver content. At today's silver prices, which hover around $25 per ounce, the quarter's intrinsic silver value alone is roughly $3 to $4. That's before we even factor in the damage. On the open market, damaged coins like this one usually sell for a little less than their full silver value. So, if you're lucky, you might see it go for around $3 to $5 depending on the extent of the damage. It's not a huge payout, but it's still more than face value. To wrap it up, while the 1966 Washington Silver Quarter without a mint mark might not be the most valuable coin in pristine condition, it still holds some value due to its silver content. If you happen to have one in damaged condition, it could be worth around $3 to $5 today. Not bad for a quarter that's seen some wear and tear over the years. Next up, the 1965 Washington Silver Quarter, and no, it's not just any quarter. This one is without a mint mark and in extra fine condition. So, how much could this coin be worth in today's market? Let's dive right into it and see what makes this coin valuable. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932, and by 1965, it was a well-established part of American coinage. However, this coin is particularly interesting for a few reasons. First, the 1965 Washington Quarter was minted during a time of transition in U.S. coinage history, right when silver content was being phased out of most coins. Most importantly, in 1965, there was a significant change in the minting process. Now, this coin here, the 1965 Washington Quarter, was produced in Philadelphia and doesn't have a mint mark. Why does that matter? Well, no mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which can influence its rarity and market value. Now, let's talk about extra fine condition, or XF. This is a term used by collectors to describe coins that have been well preserved, with only slight wear on the highest points of the design. In extra fine condition, you can still see all the fine details of the coin's design, but there's a bit of wear on the edges and features, which is typical for a coin that's been circulated but not excessively damaged. Coins in extra fine condition have high collectible value, especially when they come from years that saw lower mintage or when they're in good quality for their age. The 1965 Washington Quarter is one of those examples where condition makes a big difference. First, let's remember that in 1965, the Washington quarters were still made of 90% silver. The value of silver is a big factor in determining the worth of these coins. As of today, silver is priced around $25 per ounce, which gives the silver content of this quarter a base value of about $3.50 to $4. However, when it comes to a coin in extra fine condition, collectors are willing to pay a premium for the well-preserved quality and scarcity of the coin. Based on recent market trends and auction results, a 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition can fetch anywhere between $6 and $12. The higher end of that range is for coins with exceptional detail and minimal wear. Coins in worse condition, such as those with moderate wear or damage, usually sell for less, closer to the silver melt value. But a coin like this, clean, crisp, and showing that extra fine condition definitely attracts collectors and is worth a lot more. So, there you have it. If you happen to have a 1965 Washington silver quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition, you could be looking at a value of around $6 to $12 based on current market conditions. Of course, the value can fluctuate depending on silver prices, demand, and condition, but it's definitely a coin worth keeping an eye on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you and next time, happy collecting.